Please don't throw up on me. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to not throw up on me. I want to add something here. I know I haven't posted in like a month, and there's just a reason for that. It took me so long to do this video because I was just so exhausted and I was really going through it. Like, I just could not. Like, I feel like I needed to give myself a break just to like regenerate and recoup, and I'm starting to feel better. He's starting to get on a schedule now, so yes, we will be posting many more videos as a family together. So yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my labor story. Okay, disclaimer. So I'm going to be really like raw and real in this video. Like, I'm going to say it how it is, say how everything went. So if you're pregnant and you're about to give birth, or like videos like this scare you, do not continue watching, because birth is scary, and if you don't want to know what happens before you give birth, then don't keep watching. I just had to make that disclaimer because I don't want people commenting in the comments like, oh my god, you scared me, blah blah blah, you know. So let's start out from the very beginning. He's so cute. Papa, see, say hi to the camera. You say hi to the camera. Say hi. Can you smile for us? Can you smile for us? You were just smiling. He's mugging right now. Okay, so February 27th at 8 a.m. I got up to go to the bathroom, and when I went back in bed, I got all comfortable. I laid on my side, and then all of a sudden I feel like a pop and like a gush of just like everything coming out of me, and I'm like, oh my god. And I look over to Lane and I'm like, my water just broke. And he's like, bitch, you're lying, you know. Like, that's the type of look he gave me. And he was like, closed his eyes and was about to go back to sleep, and I'm like, no babe, like my water really broke. I'm like, look, I'm like, so much liquid is coming out of me right now. And he like looks under the blanket, he's like, oh my god. So get up, get ready, go to the hospital. They checked me. It was amniotic fluid. I went into my birth room. They checked how dilated I was, and I think, yeah, at that time I was only dilated 3 centimeters, I believe. And so they were like, okay, well, just walk, bounce on the ball, take a bath if you need to. We have to get these contractions going. So I started walking a little bit, bouncing on the ball. Bouncing on the ball made my contractions like so much stronger. And so, you know what, after I bounced on the ball for a little bit, I was like, I'm gonna take a bath. And I got in the bath, and you know how like hospital baths have like jets? I told my boyfriend to turn on the jets. And yeah, no, that shit made my contractions go crazy. I was like, babe, you need to turn this off right now. I was like, turn it off. Like, after the bath, my contractions started getting like stronger and stronger. So I asked for the epidural, and they were supposed to check my cervix, because I guess if you're not like 4 centimeters dilated, they don't want to give you the epidural. But they were just like, fuck it, we'll give you it, because I was like really complaining. He's just staring outside. And so I got the epidural, which, goddamn, the sun's coming out, which I really wish that I didn't get the epidural at 4 centimeters, because you know what, my contractions weren't really that bad. Like, I could have pushed through, but they were worse enough to where I just didn't want to feel the pain anymore. So I asked for the epidural. But yeah, I couldn't get out of bed, and I couldn't eat. It was horrible. Like, you guys, I was in labor for 32 hours, and I got the epidural so early, like 2 hours into me being at the hospital, that I literally was in bed for 32 hours, and it was the worst ever. Like, I kept asking the nurses, like, can I please just get up? Can I get up? And they were like, no, you can't. I was like, can I at least sit on the end of the bed? They're like, no, you can't. I'm sorry. I was like, fuck. Tip for you guys. Do not get the epidural really early when you first get to the hospital, unless you're like super dilated and like your contractions are really, really strong, because that shit sucked. And all my friends came and they had candy and chips and they were all eating, and it was just the worst. So after I got the epidural, by the way, the whole process of the epidural being put into your back doesn't hurt. They literally numb you and then you can't even feel anything. The only thing I didn't like about the epidural was it made me super nauseous. Like, even the whole time I was in labor, I would try to drink something and I couldn't. And it sucked because I was so fucking thirsty, but I literally just couldn't get anything down. I was so nauseous, and yeah, it was really bad. Like, after he put the epidural in me, like 5 minutes later, I really felt like I had to throw up. Like, I just felt so nauseous. And yeah, that's really the only, well, not the only downside of the epidural for me, but one of the downsides to the epidural. I think they gave me something to try to speed up the process, to try to make me dilate faster, because I wasn't really dilating as fast as they wanted me to. I really forgot what it was called. And oh, boy, you are getting heavy. You are getting heavy. Are you gonna punch me in the face? Oh, bless you. Bless you. Bless you, baby. Yeah, I really forgot what it was, but I'm gonna put you down because you are getting heavy, boy. It was so weird. Like, I only went up to 4 centimeters like throughout that whole time for like hours and hours and hours. I was just stuck at 4 centimeters, and out of nowhere, like, the doctor came and checked my cervix. So I was at 4 centimeters for like hours on top of hours on top of hours. And then within 1 hour since the last time they checked me, I jumped to 8 centimeters, like, out of nowhere. And then I was 8 centimeters until, okay, this is crazy. I was 8 centimeters dilated. This was at night, till the next afternoon. So I remember the doctor came in and they were like, he's like, oh wow, you're 8 centimeters. He's like, you're gonna be going into, he's like, you're now in active labor and you're gonna be pushing very soon. And he's like, I'll come back and check in a couple hours. And I'm thinking, like, a couple hours, like, he is ready to push out right now. And oh my god, mind you guys, like, the whole time, I think probably once I started going into active labor, the pressure I was feeling in my butt was ridiculous. Like, I really thought that I had to poop. Like, I kept telling the nurses, like, I think I have to poop, like, I don't know what's going on, like, and they were like, no, I think it's just like the labor, like, he's laying down there and like whatever. And I was like, no, I have to poop. So they literally got me this like small bucket and put it underneath me, but you know, I didn't have to poop. I was just tripping. But you guys, this is the fucking worst feeling. Imagining, like, just imagine you feeling like you have to poop for literally like 20 hours. Like, that's what I felt like, and it was fucking horrible. The pressure started to get so bad where I had to push, and everyone was like, just practice. Felt every time I was having a contraction. And this is where, like, the epidural thing kind of pisses me off, because I literally felt everything. Like, I wasn't feeling my contractions in the front, but like I could still feel my contractions in the back. Like, it was worse. I felt every time I was having a contraction, and I felt it in my backside. And like, I literally kept telling them, like, you know, why isn't it taking the pain away? Like, what's going on? I was like, I need something else. Like, this is not, like, this shit is not flying with me. Like, I was in so much pain and just so uncomfortable. I wish you guys could just understand what this feels like. Maybe you will understand if you like went through labor and you had the same thing happen to you, but it's literally the worst feeling. And the anesthesiologist came in 3 separate times because I was just like, I was like, you guys need to give me something right now because I can't do this. Like, I kept telling my boyfriend, I was like, I don't think I can do this. I was like crying, and it was just so uncomfortable. So the anesthesiologist gave me fentanyl, which didn't do shit. Literally did not do shit. And then he came in again and said he could change the epidural around, and I was like, no. And then what else? He came in another time and was like, well, like, your only option is for us to change the epidural around. I was like, nope. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll just work through this. And then around, I would say like around 2, the doctor came in. I was 9 centimeters or 9.5 centimeters, so I was about to be able to push. But the baby's head was like, he was face down, but his head was turned weird. So she was like, if you were to start pushing, it just wouldn't work. And so the doctor reached her hand inside of me and tried to move the baby's head. And you guys, when I tell you, I screamed and told her to stop. Like, baby, here. When I scream, when I tell you I screamed and told her to stop, like, yeah, I screamed Bloody Mary and told her to stop because it hurt so fucking bad. And after that, like, it just kind of got weird. Like, I just got weird vibes because I felt like the doctor was like, okay, well, I'm gonna come back. Like, I don't really know what you want me to do. If you want to start pushing, then I'm gonna have to move his head, basically. And like, at that point, I just felt so defeated. I was so tired, you guys, because I had barely slept. I was so tired that I literally thought that I wasn't gonna be able to do this because I just wanted to go to sleep. Like, I thought I wasn't gonna be able to push. And I was just like, well, I'm not gonna let them move the baby's head out of me. Like, when I tell you, towards the end I felt everything because the epidural had already worn off and they didn't want to give me another one because they wanted me to be able to push. Yeah, everything had worn off, and it was just, I was just so over it. And this nurse, she was so cute and nice. She was like getting me to like switch different positions and like see if the baby would move on his own. So we did that for a while, and you know, after a while I just got annoyed of that, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I just want to lay how I want to lay. And she was like, well, we have to do this, and I was just so annoyed. And so then out of nowhere, this nurse comes in, the nurse you guys saw in the video that was like really pushing me through this. And she was like, okay, she was like, I'm gonna check your cervix and we're gonna see where you're at. Like, we're gonna see where the baby's at. And she didn't even, like, she told me to spread my legs and looked, and she was like, oh, I can see the baby's head. She was like, you can start pushing if you want. And I literally kept telling everyone, like, for a whole couple hours I was pushing because I couldn't help it. Like, I had to push, and everyone was like, no, don't push, like, just try to breathe. And I was like, no, like, the pressure that I'm feeling in my backside, like, I can't stop, like, it's just coming. So that whole time I was pushing, he was moving down. And like, by the time the nurse came in and was like, okay, you could start pushing, and she literally just lifted my spirit. Like, she came in with good energy and she was like, yeah, you could start pushing. And I was like, oh my god, thank god, like, thank you, Jesus. And so I started pushing, and honestly, it felt so good to push, like, amazing. But like I said, again, I could feel everything. And once he got like right there to where she could like pull him out, that's the part that really hurt. I've never felt my vagina just like stretch. Like, her hand went in my vagina. Oh, because his elbow or his arm got stuck, his shoulder or something got stuck. I didn't know this because they didn't want to freak me out. But yeah, and I felt her whole hand go into my vagina and like with the baby, and it was just the weirdest feeling ever. So fucking uncomfortable. It hurt so bad, and I wanted to stop pushing there, but she was like, no, come on, come on. She was like, give me one more good push, and I was like, okay. So yeah, and then he came out. He was super purple. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, Lane didn't even get to cut the umbilical cord because I guess since he got stuck, like they had to cut it like right away or something. And then I delivered my placenta, and I guess like when they were pushing on my stomach, or like when all my blood was coming out, like all my liquids and stuff, I had blood clots like this big, my Lane said, like literally this big. And I guess I was bleeding so much. They didn't tell me this though, which is funny. Like they did not want to freak me out at all. So the nurse was like, hey, I'm just gonna give you a shot in your leg. She was like, to help the bleeding. And I was like, okay. I was like, whatever. But yeah, afterwards Lane told me I had like blood clots like this big, and him and Haley were just looking, and Haley was like, don't say anything. But yeah, and then I got up, I finally got a poop. It was so funny because right after I gave birth, oh, by the way, I didn't rip and I didn't shit my pants when I was giving birth, but like right after he came out, and like they like pressed on my stomach and we're just trying to get everything out and help my uterus move back down, which, you guys, that part's really fucking uncomfortable too. Like it hurts, and they keep doing it every 15 minutes, and I was like so mad because I was like, oh my god, you have to do it again. And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just like, fuck. Oh yeah. Like I was saying, after I gave birth and like she was done pushing on my stomach for that time being, I literally farted so loud, you guys, and all, like everyone in the room just looked at me. There were so many nurses in there, and I was just like, oops, sorry. Like I knew I had to poop, and like the nurse helped me up and I went poop like right away. And I was like, I told y'all I had to poop. Like I know I wasn't saying this for no reason. But yeah, and then I fractured my tailbone. Like I'm pretty sure I fractured my tailbone while I was giving birth, because my tailbone still hurts to this day. And like right after I gave birth, I could barely sit down. Like I was in so much fucking pain. I could barely walk. Like if I sat down and got back up, it was really hard for me to get back up. Even now, when I sit down for a long period of time, it hurts so much to like stand back up. So that's great, but at least I didn't rip, so I do not even want to know what that would feel like, to rip and like have stitches and like to try and go pee, and like, yeah, I'm good. But yeah, that's basically it, you guys. That is my birth story. My labor was 32 hours. It was really, really long, and I am now a month, well, I am now 5 weeks postpartum. So yeah. See, I've been sitting for too long, so trying to get up is like a task. Okay, but I want to show you guys like my stomach. This is my stomach. Yes, I have stretch marks, but, and my stretch marks on my side still haven't gotten, the stretch marks on my side still haven't gotten any better, but hopefully they will. Yeah, that is the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. And oh yeah, so yeah, that is the end of this video, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed, and give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.